This is the West Michigan Sports Show, presented by the United States Air Force. Now, here's your host, Brandon Wirth.
January 27th, and we return here on the West Michigan Sports Show, presented by the United States Air Force. It's yours truly, Brandon Wirth, joining you here live inside the News Radio WBRN studios. Once again, here on a Saturday. Starting to get a little bit of a nice habit going here with the Saturday recording, so you guys can get up to date with the local sports scoreboard, which basketball, some shakeups last night, a couple big upsets we'll highlight, as well as take a look at the CSAA standings here in basketball. We'll also touch wrestling. Really taken off here with a lot of tri-meets in CSAA action this past week. We'll recap some of those, including some milestones reached along the way. But in the second half of the show, I encourage everybody to stick around. Absolutely fantastic interview. I had the chance to sit down and talk with Coach Bob Raven of Morley Stanwood girls basketball. Well, maybe not necessarily sit down, but we were able to chat over the phone, but still. Incredible insight from him. His program continually winning year after year. I asked him about some of those program strengthening things, as well as their success this year and what they are shooting for goal-wise for this upcoming March. And let me tell you the one thing, they are shooting for the stars. So great interview with Coach Raven coming up as well after Local Sports Scoreboard on the second half of the show. Make sure you stay in tune for that. If you miss out on any of these episodes, don't worry. Got you covered. WBRN.com. You can find all of the previous episodes on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and more for all of your West Michigan Sports Show coverage here from WBRN. So be sure to subscribe as well, whatever podcast platform you're on, or if you're one of the OGs out there listening right now, live 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on News Radio Live on Air or on live streaming WBRN.com and the WBRN mobile app. Big thanks to you as well. But be sure as well, follow Big Rapids Daily News as well on Facebook, Instagram, and more. You can get alerts on these episodes as they're released, as well as all the great things we have coming up as well with the other shows on the station. Behind the Bulldogs, many of you may have heard at 3 o'clock, covering Fair State Sports as well. The Rundown, the meat and potatoes of CSAA girls and boys basketball, which, not to sneak peek it too much, but we got a great guest coming on the Rundown this week. Going to be an absolutely great episode with Joe and company upcoming. Won't spoil the guest just yet. You have to stay tuned here this upcoming week. But before we get into the scoreboard, big thanks go out to our West Michigan Sports Show sponsors. This include Johnson's Automotive, the Schuberg Insurance Agency, Quality Car and Truck Repair, Alter Care Big Rapids, Paris Auto Sales and Service of Big Rapids, Moto the Mecosta Osceola Transit Authority, and the Mecosta Osceola Career Center. Thank you all for your support of the West Michigan Sports Show. And if you want to be a part of the West Michigan Sports Show, contact the station, get in touch with our sales representatives, and we will get you up to date and try to get you on the show as a local sports supporter. We've had so many great sponsors as well for not only this show, our other sports shows here at the network, as well as our broadcast with Big Rapids basketball. It's been fantastic. Can't wait to keep it going, and that local sports support for our businesses. Without further ado, let's get right into the reason you're here, the local sports scoreboard, all the coverage from West Michigan's area. We'll start back on January 19th. Some of these Friday games might seem familiar to you, as we kind of got to preview a couple of them last week, but just in case you missed, we'll go over them really quickly. Big Rapids takes care of Central Montcalm, the most dominant offensive performance of the year, 77-29 at home. Tri-County fights to the final minutes against Grant, falls by 5, 62-57. The Lions take down the Wildcats, Newaygo beating Lakeview, that is 64-43. White Cloud dominates Chip Hill 65-39. They're at home. As well as on the girls' side, Big Rapids just squeaks out a win over Central Montcalm, 55-48, your final there. The Vikings fall to the Tigers, 66-26, that is, in girls' action. Had them backwards there in a minute in my brain. As well as Lakeview squeaks out a nail-biter on the road at Newaygo, 36-32. The Lakeview Wildcats on the girls' side starting to sneak their way up in the standings, but we'll get to those here in just a minute. As well, the final one, White Cloud taking down Chip Hills as they win 42-23 there on January 19th. Did have some games on January 20th. Kent City had some games rescheduled due to Mother Nature's havoc that has been really on display over the last couple of weeks. Those two games on the boys' side, Kent City takes down a good Blanchard Montebello team 46-36 at home, as well as the Eagles complete the Saturday sweep, beating Ada Forest Hills Eastern 54-32. Your final there on January 20th on that Saturday. But as we move forward into this past week, the recent scores that is, we'll start back a little bit of ways ago, back on January 23rd. That would have been Tuesday for those that remember. White Cloud takes care of Lakeview in boys action 72-22. I'll tell you what, the Indians are playing some fantastic basketball right now. No slowing down Coach Jones's crew at this moment of time. Tri-County takes down Morley Stanwood 53-40 on the road. So the Vikings get their first CSAA win of the campaign, as well as Clare takes down Chip Hills in non-conference action there in Remus. 54-42 your final there. As well on the girls' side, Morley Stanwood takes care of business against Tri-County. 58-26 the final there. Lakeview and White Cloud battle in a defensive slugfest. No, this is not a football score. 27-13. Your final score there, 27-13. How ironic is it that we say that in basketball terms? Can't say we probably say that one again, but what a defensive slugfest from those two teams. Kent State takes down Big Rapids at home, 49-35, your final there. And in non-conference action as well, the Pioneers of Clare take down the Warriors, 52-13, your final there from January 23rd. One day later, January 24th, a rescheduled game, Big Rapids and Kent City squared off. It was the Cardinals taking down the Eagles 62-48. They're from Kent City, your final there. Now on to Friday, where we had some high-flying basketball games. Let's get right into it. Boys action. Grant takes down Big Rapids in what a game it was. Got a chance to listen to this one live. Headed to overtime. The Tigers defeat the Cardinals on the road, 68-63, your final score in that one. How about a big game for Grant on the road? Coach Seidema's team boosting their standings in the CSAA. Central Montcalm beats Chip Hills at home, 61-42, your final score there from Stanton, as well as Tri-County takes down Lakeview, 59-48 there from Howard City. And Newaygo hosts Whitehall in non-conference action. It is the Vikings that take care of business, 66-47. A valiant effort on the score sheet there from the Lions against the Vikings, as well as in boys action. Reed City dominates Morley Stanwood, 62-29, and White Cloud dominates Kent City, 68-39. In girls action, Big Rapids falls to Grant 46-40. It was a winning fest for the Tigers on Friday night, as well as Central Montcalm beats Chip Hills to complete the sweep, 49-15. There in girls action, Tri-County falls to Lakeview as the Wildcats again getting a road win. They are some road warriors this year, 44-32 your score there. Lakeview wins it, as well as arguably the game of the night from around the area. Reed City girls have an upset bid against Morley Stanwood, but just fall short, 44-36, your final score there from Reed City. What a valiant effort and comeback from Coach Raven's team. We'll get to hear his perspective, not necessarily on this game as we recorded it earlier on this week, but from his team's philosophy upcoming here in just a little bit. And Kent City shuts down White Cloud 44-11 on the road there in White Cloud. So Kent City bounces back there for a split. As we continue on here, we had some great highlights to mention here, especially in wrestling action. A really, really nice effort, especially from a lot of the local teams. Reed City gets a recent split, but a really cool accomplishment. Met Coach Roger Stieg, head coach at Reed City for many years. 600th coaching victory. Big round of applause for him. Big shout outs to his crew, especially. Right now, I believe sitting at 5-1 in the CSAA competitively. Chip Hills also winning 2 matches over Grant and company as well in that tri-meet from this past week. Really seeing a lot of great wrestling over the last couple of weeks, as well as we see Chip Hills as well. Another 100-win candidate for the Warriors. They continually rack them up. We saw Tyler Gear getting there in the 100-win category. So congrats to him, as Coach Vogel has continually helped this crew this year continually get back on the right track. And it's really good to see here from this area. Before we get to a break, we'll highlight some of the key events to be on the lookout for this upcoming week of action. And especially in boys basketball, we got some good matchups, especially upcoming. A lot of them non-conference actions. Big Rapids will be taking on Cedar Springs. They're in Cedar Springs. I'll have the call for that one. 6:40 pregame start there from Cedar Springs. So if you can't make the drive on Tuesday night, don't worry. Got you covered. 96.5, 107.7 whenever you listen to these shows. So you can be sure, unless you're on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, you might have to move over to live on-air radio, but you can find out more. If you follow along BigRapidsDailyNews.com, we'll have all of the information for you posted on game day. As well, a couple other good games. Ravenna will be hosting White Cloud and boys action. That one I'm looking forward to there, January 30th. That game, I believe, 7 o'clock start time, along with Big Rapids. In girls action, Fremont hosting Morley Stanwood. Very intriguing game potentially on deck there between those two teams, especially Morley going on the road. As well as we have a couple other big-time wrestling meets as well. A quad going to be held in Big Rapids, TC St. Francis, Mount Pleasant, and Comstock Park, all in town to face the Cardinals. That's going to be a really fun wrestling quad tournament there. That's going to be January 31st on Wednesday, starting, I believe, first match will begin at 5:30. We also have a CSAA try between Central Montcalm, Chip Hills, Newaygo. They're from, I believe it's going to be in Chippewa Hills. Central Montcalm actually, I believe, does have a try. They're still working on officially announcing the teams there. A lot of the teams might know. So if you do know, let me know, and I'll be sure to update that here on the show moving forward as well. February 2nd, some good matchups coming up as well, especially on the boys' side. An intriguing one, I think, for sure, that we should be on the lookout for. Newaygo hosting White Cloud. I think that's going to turn into a really fun contest. Two of the best offensive teams in the CSAA will do battle next Friday night. That's going to be a 7:30 start, as well as we're going to see a potentially really interesting matchup. Morley Stanwood hosting Big Rapids. That's going to be a little bit of a rivalry there at 5:30 p.m. there from Morley Stanwood. That's going to do it for segment one. When we come back, we're talking with Coach Raven on Morley Stanwood girls basketball success after these words here on News Radio WBRN. We return from the break here on the West Michigan Sports Show presented by the United States Air Force. About to jump into an interview here for those that tuned into the first half of the show. If you're just joining us, we got a great interview on deck for you. Bob Raven, head coach of Morley Stanwood girls basketball. We had a chance to chat with him on their incredible season thus far. But before we do that, of course, we can highlight the CSAA standings. First, on the girls' side, obviously, Morley Stanwood continues to do damage in this overall conference season as well. Just overall, it has been incredible to watch them just continually win a lot of games. They're at 11-1 overall right now, 6-0 in conference play. Grant right behind, 5-0, 6-3 overall, followed by Reed City, Kent City, and Central Montcalm, each with 4-2, 3-2, and 3-2 conference slates. As well, Lakeview climbing up the tallies right now, getting into that 6th spot, 3-3 and 6-4 overall, followed by Big Rapids, White Cloud, Newaygo, as well as Tri-County and Chippewa Hills in respective order. And if you want to see the full breakdowns as well, overall and conference records, follow along Big Rapids Daily News as well on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. We post those live weekly as well as even sometimes bi-weekly. So be sure you're on the lookout for that. We'll have those posted so you can see all the up-to-date standings there, as well as on the boys' side. A little bit of shakeup here from this last Friday night's game. So right now, Reed City, White Cloud, Grant, Newaygo at 7-0, 5-1, 5-1, 5-1, respectively in the top four spots, followed by Big Rapids, Montcalm, as well as Kent City, Chip Hills, Tri-County, Morley Stanwood, Lakeview, rounding out the respective 11. So a lot of shakeups in the CSAA standings, and Coach Raven especially knows how tough the CSAA slate is on the girls' side, and he mentioned that in our interview, in which we'll swing it over to hear from Coach Raven on Morley Stanwood girls basketball success. Here with Coach Raven of Morley Stanwood girls basketball. Coach, thank you so much for joining us. We'll get right into a first question for you. Obviously, your team off to a stellar start this season. Just talk about really the overall development from the summer and the fall, and especially seeing such a good product overall from your team here early on this winter.
It started, I guess, this summer. We had a really good summer. We return, we start 5 seniors. We have 6 seniors on the team, so we're kind of a veteran team, which always helps a coach out. So we were able to kind of come into the season running. Girls knew what we were doing. So we can practice the old stuff, but I also work on some of the new stuff. And yeah, things have gone pretty well so far, but we've got a long way to go. We've got some really, really tough games coming up here.
Absolutely. And you mentioned tough games, especially. I mean, looking at your guys' schedule, you guys have played some very tough teams, not only in conference, but also outside of conference that you guys scheduled, like Alpena, as well as Fremont, Lake City. When it comes down to, for you, and especially with the athletic director staff and making the schedule, putting a lot of these games together to challenge your team, what really came up with picking some of these teams, and especially early on in the season to face some of these squads?
Well, we've kind of had a tradition at Morley Stanwood. We've always wanted to play good teams, and we take pride in that. And this year was no exception. We were able to add teams like Fremont and Alpena this year. We played Lake City for the last 4 or 5 years, and they're a top-notch program right now. We also have Hart toward the end of our season. They're a really, really strong program. Plus, the top of our league, there's several good teams in our league. So we feel pretty good about our schedule, and hopefully that's going to prepare us for the postseason and also help us in some of these big conference games.
For sure, and especially over the last couple of years already. I mean, seeing a huge stretch of success with your program, obviously 10 wins already this season as we're talking here live, 15 from last year, 16 as well from the year before. Just talk about the consistency that you've had within the program, not only with continuing to win, but even though you have graduating players that have a lot of experience for these teams moving on, and just having a lot of that transition moving forward from a lot of these younger players and them stepping up and really fulfilling the role to keep this winning going.
Yeah, I guess that's how you build a program. You got to get the young ones interested, and we've been pretty fortunate here at Morley Stanwood. We've developed some good kids, and we've had some good families that really buy into our basketball program. And so, this year is no exception. We have just quality kids and quality families, and that's what makes coaching fun for me.
For sure. And obviously a lot of great individuals on this team. A couple, just to name a few, obviously Lindsey Biller's been a standout for you as well. McKenna Martin as well, just to name a few. But just talk about the makeup of your team, the starting five, and even some of the key bench players, and what kind of a role that they bring for this team and why they're so successful in their roles.
Sure. We have 9 players on our team this year, and 6 seniors, 1 junior, and 2 sophomores. Our leading scorer right now is Lila Hoisington. She's a 4-year player. She's averaging 17.3 a game and 7.7 rebounds. So she's having an outstanding season. But obviously, it's more than just her. McKenna Martin, you had mentioned, she's almost averaging a double-double herself. And then our shooting guard, Lindsey Biller, is also averaging double figures and right around 3.5 assists per game. So, those are our 3 leading scorers, but we pride ourselves in kind of being a deep team and getting girls to buy into their roles. And I tell them every night, it's not how many points you're scoring for us. It's just doing the other things. Elena Christensen's another senior that starts for us. Just does a lot of the things that we need her to do, especially on the defensive end, rebounding the ball. And I compliment her all the time. She really sees the floor well and passes the ball well. And there's always a place for somebody on my team that can play defense and help the offense move that way. Our 5th starting senior is Miranda McNeil, point guard. Again, just does a lot of the things that helps the team be successful that might not show up in the stat sheet. But we have 2 sophomores that come off the bench for us, Caitlin Nahrat and Lexi Martin. And we have 1 junior in Graceland Walsh, and our 6th senior that comes off the bench is Sienna Osaski, and all of them have different qualities, and all of them have things that help us be a winning team. So it's a good group to work with. 9's a little bit tough in practice when you want to scrimmage, but that's why you have assistant coaches, I guess.
Absolutely, for sure. And especially for those that follow with your team, obviously see the scores every Tuesday, Friday night. You see a lot of offense, and especially that great defensive play where you guys are scoring more than 50 points a game, allowing less than 40 in most cases. But when it comes to the identity, really the chemical makeup of your team and the philosophy behind it, what's really the key for your group that has really been successful so far?
Yeah, like you said, we try to, we want to play an up-tempo game, which for me, sometimes we turn the ball over a little bit more than we'd like. But I guess I have to live with it as a coach and trying to play up tempo. But really, defensively, we've come a long way in the last couple of years. These girls have bought into what we're doing. We try to mix it up. We're not a real big pressing team, but we will if we think we can get an advantage there. But just, whatever defense we're playing, we want to make it tough on our opponent.
Absolutely, and especially for you guys, you have a couple really key games down the stretch here, especially for the regular season. Obviously, you guys will play Reed City upcoming, which is going to be a big game as far as CSAA standings are concerned. Then you have obviously a lot of the CSAA slate. You mentioned Hart already. What are some of those things that you're hoping to see your team to improve on as you guys continue to train and practice here for the next couple of weeks in order to play your best ball at the end of February going into March?
Yeah, we've got, like you said, we've got some really tough games coming up. Reed City's just, I think, playing really good basketball right now, and they're well coached. They bring a lot of things to the table that we're going to have to play well to beat them. And then the following week we have a rematch with Fremont, and then we play Big Rapids again. We play Big Rapids, who I think is really starting to come on. They were kind of a young team. They graduated a lot last year, being league champs, and Coach Heist does a great job with them. So we know we're going to have a handful with them. So we're just focusing on trying to get better every day. I know coaches say that all the time, but we're just trying to control what we can control. And we know we got some tough battles. Being 10-1, we know that people are, we're the leader of the pack right now, so people are coming after us, and it makes it tough, but it also makes it exciting. And if you're a competitor, that's what you want.
For sure, and especially over the last couple of years, I look back at a lot of the scoring archives, and it seems like you guys certainly take care of business at home when it comes to just playing in front of your home fans, your community. Just talk about the support that you guys have for this program, especially the continual fan support at each and every game, and especially for your team being able to play so well and continually put W's on the board when you're on your home floor.
Yeah, that's exciting for us to be able to play at home. As a veteran coach, I've been here a long time, and that's one thing that really hasn't changed. Our community supports us. They'll come out. They appreciate when the type of ball we play, and we kind of feed off our fans, and we like that. It's tough to come into Morley Stanwood and win games. So, but it's tough to win at Reed City. It's tough to win at Big Rapids, but we feel it's no different here, and we like to use that home court advantage the best we can.
For sure. One last question for you, Coach. Thank you so much for your time. When it comes to your team and what you really envision for your goals as far as the end of the season, what are some of the things, of course, to get you to those goals? And what is the ceiling and the goals that you believe in this group this year, especially for how well you've played here overall in the first half?
Well, our goals pretty much are the same each year. We want to be conference champs first and foremost, and then going into the postseason, a district championship is always a goal. Not looking ahead, but if we did get out of a district, our Division III in Central Michigan is loaded, and we would be going into a really, really tough regional. But that's we're trying not to focus on that right now. But our main goals we would like to win an outright conference championship, and definitely a district championship would also be one of our main goals this year.
All right. Well, Coach Raven, thank you so much for joining us, and we wish you the best of luck, not only for this week, but also for the rest of the season. Thank you so much.
Hey, thanks for what you do for high school basketball. We really appreciate it down here, and we enjoy listening to you.
Big thanks goes out to Coach Raven for chatting with us here on the show. That's unfortunately all the time we have today, but thank you all for tuning in, and be on the lookout next week. Another great interview, more great West Michigan sports coverage coming up to you, same time, same place, wherever you listen to the West Michigan Sports Show. But until next time, Brandon Wirth signing off here on News Radio WBRN.